What's up, YouTubers? Um, so I have a 99 F250 Super Duty 7.3 liter. You guys may have seen it in other videos, but I wanted to make a quick, hopefully quick video about the fuel gauge ascending unit. Um, so this piece here, despite the fact that it does not have a fuel pump in it, no, all it is a pre-filter with a foot on it and a plate of metal, some tubes, and a gauge. These things are typically, sometimes you can find them for around 450 bucks, but most of the time, if you get the dealer to do it, you're looking at about $1,200 to replace this thing. And typically the only things that go wrong with them is, one, the foot breaks off right about here, usually above this little check valve thingy here. And you run out of fuel around a quarter of a tank. Or two, there's little filters in here, which I just replaced mine because I'm having a separate issue. I had got bad fuel, and I was kind of, investigating, and my gauge has been wonky for a while, so occasionally it'll all of a sudden read full and then go back to working again. Anyway, so there's little filters in there that sometimes go bad, or they get clogged with junk from the fuel tank, and or when the foot disintegrates. So anyway, back to my gauge. Okay, so this I have disassembled this. I'm a tinkerer. I like to know, what I'm getting into, so to speak. So this is actually the actual rheostat that is in there, and you've got your float here that floats, and then it goes up and down, yada yada blah blah. Well, anyway, I'm not showing how to take this apart or anything because I've already taken it apart, figured out what was wrong with it, and be honest with you, I'm going to put it back together and put it back in the truck. So again, this is a 99, going on 21 years old at this point. The truck can go drink a beer if it wants. But this being the original sending unit, had several tanks of fuel ran through it. So this little copper piece here, contacts right here, it goes back and forth as you go, between full and empty, yada yada blah blah. So what has happened is that there was a little tit, if you will, right there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's worn a hole in it. So there's a little bit of slop in the arm and its movement when it's going around. So basically what was happening was it was losing contact because there was a little bit of movement here and there was wear. So what do? Because I really don't want to spend 400 or 500 or 600 or whatever, and you cannot seem to get these resistors by themselves. More on that later, or another video, or another time. Maybe you guys can comment. I specifically remember there was a Econoline series or E series, whatever. Their little rheostat was available separate on those or something like that. I don't remember. I really just did the investigation to see if I could figure it out and say, hey, gauge is already wonky. Most of the time it works. I took it apart and was like, hey, let's see what we can see because it's already half broke. Let's see if we can fix it. So what I did was I took it apart, found that, spread it open. I'm going to clean this up with a wire brush, but here's what you can do. Hang on a second, let me get my meter going here. Kind of tight here because I'm so close. So I got my fluke here. and we're gonna come in here. We're gonna ohm out this thing, and what you should see. So at empty, you should see around 15 ohms. Go down a couple of more notches. So each little bar. Let me move my camera just so you can see my guys. I didn't realize I was too far away there. Each little notch here is a resistor, and it's all additive. So the further you go away from this point here, the resistance gets higher. So we start here. This is just solely to test. I apologize. One of these days I'll get more professional at this type of stuff. But as you go up, resistance goes up, and this is pretending that the fuel level is rising, like you're filling the tank. And what you want to do is go to each individual bar and confirm that you have an ohm reading on it. You know, your ohms are going to jump around as you move because you don't want to put too much pressure down while you're dragging. But as you go up all the way up to full, you should see that you have good ohm reading all the way to the very tip top, where it should be about 160 or so. Close enough. And that would be a full gauge reading. So again, this video, its purpose was completely to show you that, hey, if your gauge is not working on your Ford Super Duty between 99 and 2004, or maybe even other years, before you drop all that money, especially if you're like me and I like to tinker, if it's not working, take it apart. You know, just see what you see. And in my case, those two little copper springs were just not making as good a contact as they used to, and that's the reason why my gauge was wonky. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I guess, you know, actually, if you guys want to see this, I can go ahead and extend this video and go ahead and reassemble this, because I don't want to take it apart again. Alright, let me find a wire brush here so I can clean that up, and I will stick it back together so at least you understand how it goes together. So hang on a second. Okay, so I went ahead and wire brushed that real quick. Got your float here, and you know, like, if you're taking it apart, make sure this is straight, yada yada blah blah. Occasionally, like if you're like me and you've lost your drive shaft at one point, it'll beat the tank to death, and this is a very soft rod, and that can actually put a little bend in it. It was like after that happened, my gauge was always inaccurate, and sure enough, there was a slight bend in it. So anyway, so this, gonna make sure, and again, I'm not taking this apart again to show you how to take it apart. I'm only gonna do this putting it together. You want to make sure the little steel or aluminum, whatever it is, contact goes towards the resistor, the rheostat. And then this rod will go through. Oh, there we go. And make contact with this guy. Hang on, I'll get this right in just a second. Okay, yeah, like that. Oh shoot, you can't even see me. Hang on. There we go. My bad. So you put it together just like this, and then insert. Now I will tell you how I took it apart. I used a screwdriver and a little pick to separate the little tabs, which are right here, gently separate them, because remember, this is pretty old and it is plastic that's been in fuel all these years. And what I did was I set it down after removing it from here, like so, and I got everything. I set it down, and then I took a screwdriver, like so, while pushing down on the whole works, and took the screwdriver and twisted it, which made the fingers a little wider, and that enabled me to then push the rod up. Enabled me to push the rod up like so, and it was able to come out. So putting it back together, just, you know, probably gonna fight a little bit. I might even break it, and you might hear me start cussing. But we got to be really gentle with it, because I really don't want to spend all that money on a 21-year-old truck if I don't have to. I love my old truck, but don't want to spend more money on it than I have to. Actually, a pair of pliers. Yeah, and I have not done this before, so I mean, you know, you guys can knock me for having an unprofessional video or whatever here, but you know what? If it helps one person save some money, especially in these trying times, as you know, this video is being recorded during the whole coronavirus scare of 2020, and who knows, one of my friends has it in Wisconsin currently, and I don't know if he's going to survive. And you know, like, I could get it. Oh, off the camera again. So, hey, did it go all the way in? I think it did. Let's give it one more squeeze, just to make sure. Yeah, it's in. Okay, so you can see now we have decent contact there, but you know, it's wobbling around because you know, the actual other side of this rod inserts into there. So let's see. We can get it back in there. Make sure I've got adequate stick out on that. Ooh, glad I looked at that. We actually kind of bent the little copper thing. Yeah. There we go. Now that should provide extra pressure, or adequate pressure, excuse me. And you insert it down there, so this is inserted in tight, or like that. And then hopefully I can get this back in there without breaking it. Yeah, it's one side. Come on. Use the pick to spread those out a little bit. Like I say, do not want to break it at this point. And turn a day into a very bad day. An expensive day. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, you can actually hear the contact now. Cool. Alright, let's grab our meter again. And you may, one other thing that I did notice, you may find that this straight here is corroded. I cleaned that up as well. I didn't show that on the camera. Did that before I decided to make this video, because I originally didn't even think I was going to make a video. So you're going to attach to the right side, or the white wire, which is actually this guy. It's tan because it's been in fuel all these years. Let's get the meter in place so you can see it. Again, I apologize for the lack in this video and also the length of it. I was not prepared to make this video at all. Okay, you know, let me pause real quick. Okay, there we go. We're all in position now. Okay, so I am holding the probe inside of there. I'm holding it to ground here. Obviously, I'm not making contact, so hang on just a second. All right, there we go. So that is at empty fuel level, and I am going to sweep it slowly. And we're going to see how it does. And I'm sure, you know, I'm still going to drop out a little bit here and there, and that's because I'm kind of pulling up on it. See, like if I lift it, yeah. Same thing is still happening, but I think the position of it with the float. Well, let me use this right here. The position of the float. Yeah, there we go. All right, now we're good. $45, $44. Like I said, it drops out. So I mean, I don't think, I'm not sure if that's okay or not. We will definitely find out when I got to put it back on the truck. It could just be because of the way I'm holding it. And I have a feeling that's what it is. So let's actually go vertical with it real quick. Let's see what happens. Okay, the sending in it's off camera here, but you know, let's do this vertically like it's actually in fuel. Yeah, there's a little bit of a dead spot there. So basically, what would happen if with that little dead spot there is that it would read full at that time, and I can deal with that. It's a lot better than it was. So I can call that a successful repair. So in short, again, I apologize for the length to this video. I realized that it was a little bit long. Forgot the compressor was on, scared the crap out of me because it's like 3 feet behind me. Anyway, so I consider this a successful repair. Again, the whole reason I showed this, the whole reason I made such a long ass video, is really to save you guys money, and hopefully I'm saving myself some money. I know some people will probably comment and be like, hey, why don't you just go ahead and freaking, you know, buy the damn sending unit and just, you know, whatever. But the thing is like, this is April the 3rd of 2020. I'm assuming that this video will be up for many years. Let me tell you something. For those of you who may not remember, if this is 2030 or something, we're going through hell right now. There's over 1 million cases of this crazy ass virus. They are making us um, stay at home. I haven't worked in over a month, and if I can avoid spending some money, I'm going to do so. So, anyway, without further ado, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, obviously, you had obviously you have had this issue happen, and maybe my video has helped you and will help you. But I implore you to please like, subscribe, and share this video, if you would please. Anyway, everybody take care, and should coronavirus get me, I had a good life.